All right. So this is the really exciting place where you can take action and decide which of these social media sites really is right for you based on what you've learned so far. So what you'll do is go ahead and click on the button below here, and it will pull up this Google spreadsheet for you. And then just go ahead and go here to File, Make a Copy. And just make that copy for yourself so that you have one of these documents that you can keep and edit and learn from, and that everyone will be able to have their own. So, what are your objectives of social media? Stylizing it all here for you all to see. Okay, so this worksheet will help you think through the different social media sites and think through your current needs to decide what makes sense for you to use. So first and foremost, starting off with what's easy. What do you already have? So let's say you already have a Facebook page and an Instagram account. They're built, maybe you haven't posted them on a long time, but you do have those. And let's say you have part of a website on Squarespace, with a couple products or whatnot. Feel free to get as detailed as you want here. It even would be really helpful if you go to your Facebook page or Instagram page and include those links here to help you start building a stock of what you already have to add so that you have those all in one place, which will really help you keep track of it as well. So the next step here is let's look at who am I trying to reach? Whose problem are you solving with your product or service? So let's say you sell, for this example, adjustable baby clothes. So you're probably reaching new moms, especially mothers with several children, maybe just new parents in general, and friends of new parents, grandparents, new grandparents, especially, and families, for those sorts of things. And then the next question is, where are they going to be located? So what are new moms doing? What are new families doing? They're probably sharing the photos of the babes on Facebook. They're probably ordering diapers online. Probably not spending a lot of time shopping or in stores. Nice thing about online delivery. Perhaps they are, browsing websites. What are they doing? Help articles, specific books. Really take a moment here to get into the mind of your target market, of that audience, of whose problem your product or service solves. And if you need to go through that target market, the target audience module just before this one, please make sure you go through that. That's really, really important. But refer to that and go through here and really get in the mind of what this person is doing. Are they, on their phone looking through information? Are they on their desktop? Perhaps they're in an office or looking on a tablet. Especially grandparents would probably be looking for something on a tablet, for example. So just fill this out and really, really think through these pieces here. The next element is, what are you going to want to share on your social media? Perhaps you've done something before, perhaps you have something in mind of what you think would be cool, especially if you've seen examples of another site that's doing something that you really, really like. what sort of things are you going to share? Do you have a lot of images? Do you have lots of customer reviews? If you have a website, can you share links? Oh, the typos are bad. Apologies. Perhaps you're going to share stories about what this is going to help. What kind of content? Is it going to be images? Do you have videos? Do you have links to a website? Do you have a blog? What sort of things can you share on social media? And if you already have a blog or you already have photos, include a link here to those so that you can remember where to find them later. And if you're not sure, include links that have examples of things that you like, of sites that are maybe a Facebook page that's doing something that you really, really like and you want to emulate that. So just go ahead and include those links here. Building on this will be really, really helpful for the next modules that help you figure out your actual content. So anything that you can add here is super, super helpful. And if there's not enough room, you can just keep going out, or just go ahead and if you left right hand click here, you can insert rows to add more pieces here. But really brainstorm this and see, perhaps you see a brand that you really, really like that sells yarn crafts, and they do some really neat videos and pictures. Include a link to their Facebook page here, or whatever you saw that you really, really like. And, just build up a whole bank of those ideas here. Okay, so then the next piece that you want to go to is, what do you have to sell? What is your product or service that you're selling in your business? So for this example, for the baby clothes, it'll be, baby clothes that are adjustable, maybe from newborns to, man, do grow really fast. Maybe you're super marvelous and you've made some kind of clothing that will last them from newborn to 18 months with just one really cool product that can handle all the washing and spit ups. So just detail it out here, especially if you can add descriptions. Really, really think through all your products. If you have a service, figure out how clearly you can communicate that. So if your service is perhaps repairing clothing, what are some of the pieces of that? Does that mean somebody ships it to you and you can sew it and fix it? Does that mean you can video chat with somebody and teach them how to repair it themselves? Really dig deep into working on those descriptions, especially if you can tell a story with it. Stories are so powerful. So that's a piece that you can add here. If you already have it on a website, do go ahead and add those links in here. You're really building up a great document for yourself here that we'll use in some of the next modules for content creation. So the next piece is, what looks fun? What's something that you're like, man, I really want that? Because this is supposed to be fun. You got to enjoy this. I mean, yes, there's some work, but you can really, really enjoy yourself with this. So let's say you love Instagram and you love Pinterest. The next thing I really want you to think about, though, is, what do you have the capacity to do? So perhaps Instagram 3 times a week. And that doesn't necessarily mean you have to post it 3 times a week. We'll get into that when we talk about scheduling and setting that up. But perhaps you're able to share 3 photos from the week, or you're able to log on to Instagram 3 times a week, or even just once a week. And perhaps you love the idea of Pinterest, but setting up Tailwind and getting on there to share 5 pieces of content every day just isn't necessarily something that you're able to do. And if all of these pieces just sound a little foreign or a little overwhelming, don't worry about it too much now. This is just to get you to start thinking about these pieces. This entire document is just to have you start thinking about these pieces and building and compiling resources. And we will dig into each of these in future modules to create an actual strategic plan for you. But because this is just a brainstorm document, still do take it very seriously. This is incredibly important to start building up these pieces for you. It'll make your next tasks much, much easier. And that brings us to this final question here is, where is social media going to fit in your overall business process? Whew. So are you using social media as a way to share images? And when you're out talking with people and when you're at events, you want to be able to pull up your Instagram page and show examples of what you have to offer, and then they can go follow you and buy it straight from your Instagram page? Or do you need to use social media as a way to reach new people in your local area and hopefully get sales from people that way? Where does it fit in the sales process? Is it reaching that audience that's never heard of you? Is it helping direct sales straight to your website? Or is it supporting perhaps some other type of marketing that you're doing or selling at trade shows? So that is where you're going to go ahead and add that in here. So for example, to grow reach in local area, if you have a local shop, to increase online presence. Oh my goodness. Online presence when not selling at shows. That's a very, very common one for people who do a lot of trade shows. Or is it to drive traffic to a website to sell, or to sell directly from social media? I can type as fast as I talk, but it doesn't always spell correctly. So just kind of start brainstorming this as part of all of your processes. Using social media as your only hub for business, as your only marketing, is not something that I recommend. It's really, social media is a piece of the marketing pie. So use this to start figuring out where you want it to fit. What are some of those gaps that it can fill for you? All right.